So next question is a question on inflation. So basically it's a conceptual question. So you have to read the question very carefully. With reference to the effects of inflation on balance of payment, okay. So there are two concepts are there, inflation and balance of payment, okay. So the question is the effects of inflation on balance of payment, okay. So you need to have an idea what is inflation. What is inflation? It is the persistent increase in the price level, okay. So if there is persistent increase in the price level of goods and services in an economy, we say that phenomena as inflation, okay. So if there is continuously increase in the general price level for goods and services, that situation is what is called as inflation. So normally the impact of inflation is that the consumer, the people will lose their purchasing power. They can buy only less with their same money, okay. So we know what is inflation. So what is inflation? Consistent increase in the price level. Now what is balance of payment? It is nothing but an external account of our country, where external account, this balance of payment reflects the transactions, external transactions, especially between a resident and non-resident, people who are staying in India and who are staying outside the country. So balance of payment is an external account which reflects all the export and import transaction of goods and services, as well as capital movements. For example, loans being taken from outside the country, foreign investment coming, okay. So it is a systematic record of all the external transactions of the country. So balance of payment is the external account of the country where it will reflect all the external transaction, both import transaction as well as export transaction. Now we will try to, and so we know what is balance of payment, we know what is inflation, okay. Now how this inflation impact balance of payment, okay. So first statement says that, okay, high price reduce the export means, okay, try to understand that high price, we know that it results in, high price results in less competitive in the external market, so that there will be less demand for that particular commodity, so export will be less. And since that particular product is having high price in the domestic economy, the government will try to import that particular commodity at a lower price. If the external market, that is any market outside the country, if that particular product is having lower prices. So this happens mainly when we have food inflation. A particular product is having high prices. Normally we import that particular product. So when there is inflation is, when we say inflation, it means high prices. High inflation results in less export and more import. Why less export? Because there is less demand outside the country. And high import means since the price is very high in the economy, the government will import that particular product, okay. So high price reduces the amount of export and increases import from other countries. So first statement is correct. So this is one of the effect of inflation on balance of payment. Then it results in unfavorable condition towards the balance of payment. Yes. So what happened when the export is low and import is high, means it will result in deficit. It will result in trade deficit. It will result in current account deficit. Okay. So and thereby it will affect the more flow of foreign currency, more outflow of foreign currency than inflow. Import higher means you have to pay foreign currency. Export higher means we are getting more. Since the import is more and export is low during high inflationary period, it is unfavorable towards our external account or towards our balance of payment. So second statement is also correct. Both the statements are correct. So your answer will be C, both 1 and 2. So the next question is also a concept based question on inflation. In the context of inflation, we know that inflation means there is persistently high prices, okay. Economy, majority of the goods and services having high prices. In the context of inflation, which of the following factors is so are contributors to hike in the level of price, okay. So which all results in hike in the level of prices, okay. Hike in the level of prices means inflation, okay. Which all factors results in inflation? That is the question. Cheap monetary policy. Yes. Cheap monetary policy means the RBI is following a low interest regime. Okay, when RBI is following a low interest regime, okay, so it means that money is easily available for the people of the country. So there will be more money with the people and there will be more demand. So cheap monetary policy results in more demand results in inflation. So first statement is correct. Okay, cheap monetary policy results in inflation. So first statement is correct. So we can eliminate C. Decrease in money supply. Okay, so RBI only can decrease the money supply. So when there is decrease in the money supply, what happens? People will have less money in their hand. The economy will be having shortage of money. So shortage of money results in lesser demand and thereby decrease in money supply can help in controlling inflation. Increase in money supply, there will be more demand. Decrease in money supply, there will be less demand. So decrease in money supply is one of the measures used by RBI to control inflation. So decrease in money supply will not result in inflation. Rather, it will result in lower demand. Okay, so it is a measure to control inflation. So 2 should not be there in the answer. 2 is wrong because it will not result in inflation. So we can eliminate choice D also. Then repayment of public debt. It is related with government. Public debt is government debt. Public debt means government debt. Okay, so government generally borrow from banks or mainly government by issuing government securities, financial institutions, or even from many high investors. Okay, so when the government repay the public debt, means the government mainly the government which borrows money from the domestic market, they are paying back that principal amount. That is what is called as repayment of public debt. So repayment of public debt results in releasing more money into the economy. Releasing more money in the economy means it results in more demand and it is a cause for inflation. So repayment of public debt results in increase in the money supply in the economy and thereby it will result in, it is a factor for inflation. So your answer here is 1 is correct, 3 is correct. So answer will be B, 1 and 3 only. So both the questions are related with inflation.